If you ever said to yourself, I have so many ideas, but I don't know which one to choose. I always feel like this is a good thing and also a bad thing as well. The good side being that God created you so uniquely, so He placed ideas, He placed things inside of you that will challenge you and help you to get to a better future. But on the flip side of that, it's like you have all these ideas and you feel overwhelmed sometimes because you don't want to choose the wrong one. But I'm happy to tell you that you are in the right place today because I used to be in that same position. I had all these ideas and I could not choose a niche. I don't know what direction to take because I had all these ideas, but I was not building anything. I was not on the path to build my business. Because what I thought originally is that I had to get clear first. I had to be clear on my ideas before I took action. But what I quickly found and what I quickly discovered in the process is that action, when you take action first, that is when you start to get clarity. It's not the other way around. It's not clarity before action. It's taking the messy steps. It's doing the things that you're not sure about, but you show up anyway and you do them. So I'm glad that you're here because inside of this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that I wish someone had shown me years ago so that you can confidently choose a niche without feeling overwhelmed. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Most people often think that their biggest problem is choosing a niche, but it's not. The biggest problem is trying to choose the perfect niche. And the issue with this is that perfection normally keeps you stuck. You don't need a perfect niche, you just simply need a starting point, a point to get started. So, most successful entrepreneurs in today's society, they didn't choose their niche first. They gained their experience and then that eventually brought clarity. So the actions that we take, that will eventually bring us closer and give us more clarity in terms of, confidently executing in any type of business. Now let's talk about some misconceptions that normally keep people stuck. So these are the myths that we tell ourselves sometimes when even getting started is that I don't know everything. That's the main one. But the truth is you don't need to know everything. You only need to know enough to help the person that you're going to serve. You just need to be one step ahead of the person's or the group of people that you're going to try to help to solve a problem for. Another myth that people often use is that my niche has to be unique, but that is not true because you bring a unique perspective to everything that you do. There's a lot of people in fitness, there's a lot of people doing business, there's a lot of people in these industries, but what will make the difference is your uniqueness, your unique personality, because people connect with people that they can understand, people that have an experience that they can relate to. So you should not think about, when you think about your niche, just not think about it from a perspective of, this has to be a special place or this has to be so unique. No, it has to be you authentically showing up to serve the people that you're going to help. Your perspective is what makes your business unique, and people connect with experiences and also the stories that you change. So your story is very unique to you. No one else has your story. So they connect with you based on your personality and the story that you have. And the good thing is that no one has your story. So that is what makes you unique. Another misconception is that you have to choose a passion. But the thing is that actually a lot of successful businesses, they have multiple different interests, because sometimes you can merge interests. So if you have interest in faith and business, that can become the anchor for your business, faith and business. And also, if you talk about fitness, but you're also, good with mindset, you combine these things. So when you're talking about fitness, you can also share mindsets around that as well. And AI and digital products, you can combine. So you don't have to have a specific passion for something. You can combine all your interests together, and the overlap of these is what will make your business very much unique. Now, here's the simple framework that I wish someone had shared with me when I was just getting started. These are just three simple questions that I want you to ask yourself every time when you think about, what niche should I get into? What industry do I serve? Who am I going to serve? What business should I start? I want you to ask yourself these three questions. The first question you want to ask is, what have I overcame? So people normally they pay money to shorten their learning curve. People pay money to get the information, the experience, something that someone else has been through and it has helped them. It can help them to get their breakthrough. And if you have experienced something that helped you, then that would be the basis of the niche that you're thinking about. So ask yourself this question. So this is the first question. What have you overcome? What is something that you have gone through that can help somebody else? Is this could be a divorce, this could be, accomplishment, this could be something that you overcame that can help somebody else. So that is the first question that you want to ask. What have I overcame, and how can this help someone else? Number two, another question that you can ask yourself is, what do people naturally ask me for help with? So what are some questions that your coworkers, your friends, your family, what are the things that they repeatedly ask you for help with? This can also be a foundation for discovering who you're going to help, not just a niche, but who is the person that you can help. Because based on this question, the answer, these are valuable information. So the question is, what do people naturally ask me for help with? So do your friends and your family come with you for business advice? Do they come to you for help with baking, cooking? Do they come to you for fitness advice? What are the things that your friends and families naturally come to you to ask you for? And it comes so normal to you. You're like, okay, then everyone asks me this. That is something very unique and you need to pay attention to it. Question number three is my favorite question. So this question is, what could I happily talk about every week for the next year? So what is something that you could just randomly sit down in front of a camera and talk about this? Sit down in front of a group of people and just just talk about this, because your content consistently matter. Content is what is going to help you to grow that business and to help you to make the income, get the freedom, everything that you want is going to be on the other side of content. So any topic that you talk about freely, something that naturally comes to you and you can just talk about it, then when it's time to create content, it's going to be so easy, because you can sit down in front of a camera, you can record a video, you can talk about something and share your ideas with people. Because the truth of the matter is, if you dread to talk about a topic for 2 videos or to just create a YouTube video about that topic, then that topic is probably not your niche. It's not the area that you would want to get into. So after you've answered all these questions, I want you to now think about your purpose, because as believers, we have to always understand that we have a unique filter. We have another level where we can unlock what is it that we're good at, what has God called us to do, what has God created us to do. And this is what I call the purpose test. So after you've answered all those three questions, I want you to ask yourself, does this allow me to genuinely serve people? So whatever the business idea, whatever the book that you're gonna create, the guide, the course, the ebook, whatever it is that you're gonna create, ask yourself the question, does this allow me to genuinely serve people? And that's where your heart comes in. That's where you start to think about it, not just from a place of making money, but from a place of true purpose, who God has called you to be. So, as I said, these are very personal and it has a lot to do with your inner self, the purpose in which you're doing stuff, your purpose, your uniqueness, your God given, anything that God has given you. Want to ask yourself as well, can I create value consistently? So, this thing that you want to do, why do you want to do it? But can you also create value consistently for other people while doing this? And another question as well, will I still care about helping people in this area 5 years from now? That is so, so important. I have my notes right here. So if you see me looking down, that's the notes that we're working with. So, yeah, will you still want to serve these people 5 years from now? If you think about your life down the line, will you still want to do the same thing? Will you still have the passion to do it? Will you still want to help this group of people that you chose to help? Will this business still feel like something that you get up every day and you spring out of bed to do it because you have so much drive, so much energy, so much purpose? And also, when the trials, the tribulations, when the hiccup comes, because I guarantee you, those days will come when you don't even feel like getting out of bed, when you don't feel like putting on your clothes to put on makeup and to create a YouTube video, you will have those days. But what will be the anchor for those days? What will be the thing that will keep you grounded even when you don't feel like it? Because your business isn't just about making money. That's the thing. It's about solving problem for a group of people who God has called you to serve. And the good thing about it is that income will naturally follow your impact that you have created. So the more people you're able to help, the more things, the more problems that you're able to solve, that's where you start to see an increase. That's where you start to see a change in your business, a change in your income, a change in your lifestyle, because now your impact will naturally start to produce. It will give you the abundance that you want. It will give you the freedom that you want. It will give you the lifestyle that you want. So think about those things as well. Think about the God part of you, the God-given gifts, the skills, the talents, the knowledge, your purpose. What is it? What is it? And some of these questions can help you to just discover these things. But if you're still unsure of where to start, I created an absolutely free guide for you, which is called the Freedom Business Starter Guide. So if you're not sure on what business to start, if you want clarity on your niche, your art, your audience, or the first step in building an online business and the offer that you can sell, I created an absolutely free guide. I will link it down in the description box below so you can click the link and get that right now. So after you've chosen a niche, you don't want to sit there just to think about the niche or, overthink this. You don't want to spend 6 months thinking about, what else do I do? So you need to start talking. You need to start creating content. You need to start posting, start helping the person that you are called to help, because you'll learn far more from 10 conversations than 10 hours of just preparing, 10 hours of just procrastinating and overthinking. The thing about this is that you always have to think about starting messy and starting unsure, starting unclear, because that's the only way you're going to take the first steps. And then when you take the first step, that's where you start to get clarity. That's where the market gives you feedback. So when you start to take this first step, the market will give you feedback, and I want you to listen to the feedback, make the necessary adjustments, and just keep moving. Because looking back on even my personal experience, I changed directions multiple times. I didn't have the right idea. I was all over the place. But at first, because at first I thought that that meant I was failing. But now I realized that all of those mistakes, all of those things that I was doing, I was learning. Every vision for my business taught me something, because the first niche that I chose, it wasn't the one I stuck with forever. I just wanted to start an online business. I just wanted to, explore and learn, and that helped me to grow. That helped me to put me where I am today. So it doesn't have to be the thing that you stick with forever. But it definitely has to be the first step that you make. I always think about this quote every time, is that the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with the first step. So you always have to remember that. Start to take the steps, start to move, and movement, action, 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 that will help you to get to where you want to go. And if today helped you, if you wrote down all the questions, if you listened to everything I said and it helped you to choose a niche today, I want you to comment below the niche that you're considering. And if you haven't already, download the Freedom Business Starter Guide, because it will help you to take the first step. Instead of feeling confused, it will help to give you that clarity. And if you're ready to build a purpose driven online business, then I suggest you subscribe to the channel, because every week I post 2 new videos that will help you to build your faith, your confidence, and also practical strategies. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.